Hello and welcome, my beautiful friends. How you doing today on Clash Royale? Today we're going to talk about this big steamy pile of poop, the furnace. Okay, Chris, why'd you call it big steamy pile of poop? So I want to start off this video by saying that I'm going to be biased. I'm going to be very biased. I don't really like the furnace very much. I'm going to explain why I don't like the furnace. I'm going to back it up with some logical information for you guys. But I don't like it, and I cannot find a good way to use the furnace at my skill level. And I want to point that out. At my trophy level, the furnace is not a viable way to do damage or to kill your opponent or to be used in a useful way. Okay, I'll explain this all in, throughout the video. But I just don't like it. So let's first of all talk about the furnace. How does it work and what's going on? So the furnace pops out fire spirits. It's a spawner, so it's going to spawn fire spirits, just like a goblin hut will spawn goblins. It's got 1,000 health, which really isn't that much. You can easily, if you fireball it or arrow it or lightning it, it's going to drastically affect the furnace. So all of those cards are going to be, pretty strong counters to him. So the spawn speed, they pop out every 10 seconds, but they don't pop out one, they actually do pop out two. So it's like the Barbarian Hunt, they pop out two at a time, which definitely helps with the effectiveness level of the furnace. The lifetime is only 50 seconds, so it's really not that long overall, and what the math would say, that means that would pop out 10 fire spirits, but it's actually 12 because right when you pop it down, it pops 2 out as well. So yeah, you do get 12 fire spirits, not 10 out of the furnace. Also, because it's a rare card, and like other spawners, it pops out fire spirits 2 levels higher than whatever your spawner is. So for this level, we've got level 5, they're going to pop out level 7 fire spirits. So I will admit that my furnace is not that high of a level. A lot of my other rare cards are level 6. Some of them, I think, yeah, all of my rare cards, I believe, are level 6 at the moment. So, or level 5 at the moment. So this is a pretty standard level. Maybe 1 level higher, but that's pretty regular. So let's go into a game and talk about how we used it in a game over here. So, just to reiterate really quick, yes, the furnace does pop out 12 fire spirits. And I tend to put it in the back because I feel like it's one of those things that you do want to protect. It doesn't have all that much health, and if somebody walks in with a Royal Giant or a Musketeer or something like that, boom, it's dead. It's gone. You can't even really do that great of a counter. So, putting it in the back is probably going to be a normal thing for the furnace, but again, the meta changes. Things change. Sometimes people come up with these different, crazy, weird strategies that somehow work in really fun and interesting ways. But at the moment, I'm going to pop my furnace down in the back. So the way that you're supposed to use the furnace is you're supposed to get a big amount of elixir, pop down maybe 1, maybe 2 furnaces, and then pop down something strong in the front. A Royal Giant, a Giant Skeleton, a P.E.K.K.A, or something like that. That is going to tank all of the damage while your fire spirits can either run into the Crown Tower or run into his minions, minion hordes, arrows, and all those other lower level units that a lot of people are probably going to want to use. So, the best counter to a furnace is any strong unit. Or doing nothing. So this is the best counter to the furnace. This is why I don't like the furnace. If you don't do anything against the furnace, he doesn't do any damage to the Crown Tower. So if my little fireball, stupid fire spirits over here wander all to the other side of there, and boop, they pop into little purple goo, and they're gone forever. So they never come back. So you're like, okay, well that sounds like it's not very good, Chris, right? My furnace isn't doing anything. So what does that mean? It's too darn easy to counter. Way too darn easy to counter. What people are going to do is they are going to come in here and they're going to say, alright, I see his furnace over there. I don't care about it. I don't even need to put units on that side. I'm going to let my Crown Tower do all the damage to it, and I'm going to send out units on his other side. So he's going to have 5 extra elixir to attack my other side, which I have to also try and defend. Yeah, so I'm going to have to try and defend my other side with 5 less elixir, while my fire spirits are doing probably nothing. Probably nothing. So again, I am biased. I think that these things are bad. I don't want to use them, and I think that they're not going to be a very useful card in general. Biased. I get that. I understand. please don't be too mad at me. Don't say that, like, Chris, you never learned how to use this tower, blah, 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 blah. Yes, that is quite possible. Maybe one of these days we're going to find out that I've been thinking about the furnace all wrong, and there really is an epic, really, really awesome way to use the furnace in these really interesting, cool, fun ways that can somehow make it amazing. I want to see that. I really do. I want to see that stuff. But at the moment, that is not the case. Not the case whatsoever. So because the, by the way, check this out, man. He's got 3 health on that crown tower. He's got a Hog Rider coming in at my side now. All we gotta do is 3 health, but he freezes! And the Hog Rider, all you had to do was 1 more hit. But luckily, the Fire Spirit jumped into the crown tower at the very last second, and boom, shakalaka, ended up taking our enemy down. So Mike the Master has been defeated. So I think all I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys one more game, and just sort of a fun game. So feel free, I'm not the master of Clash Royale. I'm only a level 9, a measly little low level 9, and I don't have, tons of experience with the furnace, as all people don't. But I do understand it for the most part. I'm a pretty strategical person, so I understand how it's supposed to be used and what I'm supposed to be using it for. So let's hop in here to another game. Alright, here we are, guys. This was just, again, a fun game. We wanted to just push the game a little bit to the limit and see what we could do with these fire spirits and these furnaces. Now, I do want to point out that my enemy has a very, very low-level furnace. I believe it's only a level 2 furnace, so the fire spirits that he's popping out are very, very weak. But even so, I want you guys to notice how weak they really are. Now, as far as defensive power, as far as offensive power goes, it will make them weaker. But as far as defensive power goes, it doesn't really matter that much. They're going to explode on people. Like a prince, it'll stop his charge, or a giant skeleton, as if they're doing damage to him. It doesn't really matter. When they explode, boom, they're gone. It doesn't really matter. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it matters a little bit what level they are, but not an extreme amount. Just a little bit of extra damage. So, what we got going on right now is he's going to pop down a furnace over there. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. He's going to pop down a furnace, and guess what I'm going to pop down a reverse furnace. We're going to pop our furnace down to hopefully take him down as well. So just to kind of reiterate why the heck I don't like the furnace. Just overall, again, it's too darn easy to counter. When you see a furnace, what do? You attack the other side. It's as simple as that. It's as easy as that. You attack the other side. Even if somebody does pop down a furnace and then pop down something like a Royal Giant in front of all of those fire spirits, I don't really care. I'll let the Royal Giant do his damage while I attack the other side with 5 extra elixir. And guess what? I'm probably going to be able to do some really, really crazy damage to that crown tower while he's trying to do a weird attack on the other side. So that is, again, in my opinion. It's an opinion. If you guys disagree, that's cool. I understand. You can disagree. That's the way life works, man. Disagree all you want. So check this out. He's got a crap ton of fire spirits jumping into my guys right now. These are level 7 fire spirits, by the way. Actually, they're a little bit of a mix. The one, yeah, so some are 4, some are 7, but they're not even hurting my Royal Giant, like, barely at all. So if there was, I don't know if you guys saw that, that was kind of cool. If there was a big group of goblins, skeletons, and fire spirits coming out, the furnace would be, in fact, a good tower. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but it tanks damage and it pops out fire spirits, which also do damage. So he's not even doing any damage to my crown towers because of the ridiculousness of my fire spirits. Then I just come in with a couple other extra guys in here, and bam, shazam, take him down like a piece of cake. So that's going to be pretty much all I'm going to have for you guys. You know, only 11 seconds left. Obviously, we were just playing for this for fun. I'm not saying I'm a better player than this guy or anything like that. It was all for fun. Just check it out. He just jumped 4 of these guys into my crown tower. A few hundred health doesn't even matter. Doesn't even matter. Just like, screw you. Who cares? A few hundred health of fire spears at this point is just like, dude, he had to spend so much elixir just to get those minuscule amounts of lives. They're gone. They don't get to continuously attack. They're just gone after that. So, after all is said and done, I hate the furnace. Let me know what you guys think in the description down there, or in the comments down below. If you guys hate it, or like it, or think that I'm just doing a really bad job. Oh, the last thing I want to say, though, is that a lot of people are probably saying, Chris, you didn't try it as a spawner combo. You gotta do the combos. You gotta do Goblin, Barbarian, and Furnace all together, and then you have an unstoppable force of destruction. maybe. I'm not going to disagree with that. But if that's the only way to use that card, then I just think it's not a good way to add it to the game. I don't feel like you should add it if you can only use it in one way. That's just silly to me. So if you guys have any cool strategies or anything like that, let me know what you got. Love to hear about it. Thanks for watching and have a super duper delicious day.